But what my final thing that I want to talk about for a minute, and you may not have seen this because I added it after I do an outline that I share with Adam. We're now immune to actual scandals. The news is so deadened to what an actual scandal is that we are not recognizing. I mean, a lot of people are recognizing the actual scandals, but things that should be focused on are not being focused on. Things that shouldn't be focused on are being focused on. And that's what happened when President Trump was in. So many of his quote unquote scandals were actually not scandals at all. The whole Russian collusion thing, that went on for several years. And they went through his life with a fine-tooth comb and they found nothing. And he did a phone call to Ukraine, and they impeached him for that, for something that he was well within his constitutional right to do. I don't remember the other thing he was even impeached for. They were such non-scandals that people made such a big deal about that. Now things that are actual scandals, like Biden not being able to form a coherent sentence, who's actually controlling him, who's telling him what to do. Every time he does some little press conference or something, there's on the teleprompter it says, "Leave the podium now." And so he reads those type of things, like I'm leaving the podium now, or they told me not to take any questions, or just things that are so off the wall that if Trump said those things once, there would have been a several week news cycle about them. We have the botched Afghanistan withdrawal. You have a retaliatory strike. We had this bombing from the Taliban that took out 13 of our service members. And then we do a retaliatory strike. Turns out it was a family of 10, and the main people of the family, the men, they were aid workers bringing water and supplies to the people. We're not talking about that? Like, really? Like what else? What else is going on right now that's just so big, that are such real scandals that we're just not talking about them? What's the deal?
Yeah, team politics. Team politics is all that matters. And unfortunately, that's where we live. Tyler and I have a chance to talk to a lot of people. This past weekend, we spoke to a lot of good people, and there are, people. There are lots of people who believe in freedom, in basic the rights of the individual, and the idea of majority rules. People that want to just live and let live. They're doing things. Not everybody can have a huge voice. Not everybody can have a big podium, but we can all do things. And like Nicki Minaj says, we can all not be bullied. We can all stand up. And I think who knew we'd be quoting Nicki Minaj for words of wisdom this week? But I think those words stand on their own, and she should be applauded for saying it and for sticking by her principles. And we should all do the same.
Yeah, that's an excellent point. We've talked so much about media malfeasance and things like that, and there's really kind of a I don't know what the right word is, but there's a cloud of evil, so to speak, over the media right now. I can't remember if we talked about this. There are different areas where evil kind of resides over periods of time, and with the Nazis, there was an opportunity there to bring great evil into the world. And so the evil kind of focused there for a time. And then once Nazism was defeated, at least then, it shifted to other places where there was more opportunity. That time, I believe it was with the communists in Russia, in the USSR. And then after the Berlin Wall fell and communism kind of fell apart under its own weight, then it kind of moved to radical Islam and, Sharia law and things like that. Now, it may not have, when President Trump was in, you never heard about radical Islamists, really. There was, you would hear about attacks all the time under Obama, and then President Trump just kind of really snuffed that out. And so then it kind of shifted, I think, and others think that it is kind of, this cloud has kind of shifted to the media, because they're doing things that are actively undermining people and their ability to make choices, because they're lying to us in so many different ways. And it's not just the blatant lies, it's the leaving out context or the leaving out of actual truth that's what context is, I suppose. They're leaving out parts of the story that make the story completely opposite of the way that they're portraying it. And, we talk about principles a lot, and you just have to look at it and really understand what freedom is and how those freedoms are being eroded. That's one of the things we're trying to do with citizen representatives, is to bring a lot of that freedom and power back to the people so that it can be presented in a better way, so that it can be decentralized, so that these big giant groups of power and influence can be minimized. And it's such a big undertaking that we're doing, and we would hope that you would share this podcast, this video, like the page, share it with your friends and family. We're getting some momentum. It's going slowly, and we're keeping at it. We know that you just have to, in these types of things, a lot of things don't catch on right away, and it's going to take some sort of spark to get us there. Do you have any last thoughts, Adam?
No, just well, I guess yes. Remember your opportunities. Everybody has small opportunities, at the very least, to stand up for your rights, whether it's just talking to somebody in conversation. I know we don't want to offend people, and I know we want to be careful in our relationships, and we want to demonstrate kindness at all times, for sure. But never be afraid to voice your opinion. Never be afraid to stand up for what you believe in and to explain it. And if it's not well received, there's nothing that you can do about that. But we have to keep putting the message out there, spread the word, and stand up for liberty above all else.
In closing, there's no right to not die of an infectious disease. This is an idea that's getting out there, that people have a right to not die of an infectious disease. There's no such thing. That's an inversion of reality. You should be responsible, and if you're sick, and stay home and things like that, and try to stay healthy yourself. But there's no right to not die of an infectious disease, and that kind of rationale is being used to take away our freedom. Focus on the freedom. Focus on what it really actually means, and we'll all be better off. This has been another episode of the Citizen Representatives Podcast. Please check out our website, citizenrepresentatives.org. If you feel so inclined, please donate. We're available on all the podcast places. We're available on YouTube and Facebook. Again, please like, share, and subscribe. Do all those things. And we will catch you next time.